Well, that's how we progress right to the perfect day, as it says, and become more like Christ. And that's how we grow in terrestrial glory. That's what the covenant path is all about. So there's revelation, and then there's discernment. But I think the point I want to make is that Jesus Christ had perfect discernment. He had the fullness of light and truth. Okay, but even Jesus, with a fullness of light and truth, with an ability to perfectly discern, he still, when he was on the earth, took moments to commune with the Father and seek his will. So even, and this is where I was going, like to your point, it's absolutely an ongoing process. Right? God wants us to acquire light and truth. He wants us to be agents and autonomous, right, in how we use our agency, and he wants us to be like him. He wants us to be righteous and be autonomous in our priesthood and in the light and truth that we've received. But it is absolutely an eternal process.
That went better than I thought it was going to go. I was afraid we were really going to go off the rails there, but no, that was really good.
I did want to take a step back, though, because we were talking about how the Spirit is necessary even beyond the receiving with the senses. Mm-hmm. So we were saying, like, Christ himself could come and tell you something, and then if you don't receive it by the Spirit, right, that doesn't quite, it's not going to have the impact that it should. And it took my mind to the story where Christ, after his resurrection, came and walked on the road, Emmaus. I don't know how you say it. Is that how you say it? Anyways, he came and walked right on the road and tarried for a bit with some of his disciples, and they didn't recognize him. And he was just kind of gauging how they're reacting to the whole, post-crucifixion and how if they're receiving resurrection on faith, and he was kind of observing them and prodding them and kind of teaching them. And then it gets to the scene at the end where they go into for the night and they break bread, and then it says he vanishes, right? And then all of a sudden they were like, "Who was that guy?" And then someone was like, "Wait, was that Jesus?" It's an interesting story because it's like, how do they not recognize him? Like, they're his disciples. He was walking with them. So it's like something, okay. So, was he reckoning the time on Kolob differently or something? No. No, but the point is, what they said was, let's see, I had it pulled up here. It says, "It came to pass that he sat at meat with them. He took bread, blessed it, and brake and gave to them. And their eyes were opened, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. And they said one to another, 'Did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us by the way, and while he opened to us the scriptures?'" So, and that's when they got it. That's when it clicked. When they associated the Spirit with his presence. Him being there physically was not sufficient, even post-resurrection. It was not sufficient for them to have that apostolic witness, right? His physical body, that's not the point. That's part of it, but it's not sufficient.
Hit that like button, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it.
They may seem like little things, but liking, commenting, it helps the algorithm push our content out to more people. So it's our small way of sharing the gospel in a social media age.